when NewsMan's on the air. Melodies beyond compare. Turn the dial and catch the show.
Shout out to Ramen Toy.
You could accept the fact that the city is headed for a disaster of biblical proportions. Biblical, what it means is Old Testament, real wrath of God type stuff. Seas, oil, human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together. That's terrible.
Well, listen, can I just say right out of the gate, usually I sit there and brag about people that are first. Well, today is a very special day. And the reason why I say that is because, well, of course, Mary Murr's always first, but of course, yes, Mary Murr counts. And she does count. But I will tell you that we do have the Sam Cams live up and running right now. That's at Sam Newsman all over social media. But a tip of the cap. I have a cap over there too, actually. But a tip of the cap to Ace and Ramen Toy. Ramen Toy was first. He was first this morning. That's right. They were first. I don't know I'm not exactly sure what pronouns they use in terms of toys over there at Ramen. But shout out to Ramen Toy. And if you're not familiar with Ramen Toy, are you familiar with Ramen Toy? Retro, what is it? Ramen, retro artistic, modern 80s nostalgia. Well, I had to sit there and think about how I had to spell ramen for a moment, but it was an anagram. So shout out to Ace, who was here first. So shout out to Ace, kicking off the show. And like I said, that's ramentoy.com. The bread van. The bread van? Yeah, are you familiar with the bread van? Well, I don't know. What? Well, just because they call it a bread van doesn't mean it's going to have bread. Well, it's gonna drop off bread at your house. No, I think that's just the terminology. A bread van. No, but the bread van. Because there's all these there's all these people that are trying to make an action figure or a vehicle. Vehicles are all the things. I say this all the time that accessories are better than action figures. Accessories are better than action figures. No, that's the truth. Accessories are better than action figures, but what's also better than action figures are props and vehicles. And vehicles are the thing. Ramen Racer has been shipping out lately, and of course now they have the bread van. They also have a bunch of tanks too. They have tanks. Yeah, are you into tank? I didn't get a tank. There was one tank that I was jiving with, but I think you had to get to 1,500 people to get it before the laser effects work or get unlocked. Well, I'm all for it. I'm all for I'm all for the black as amphibian. I might be saying that wrong. Ace will be able to correct me in the chat. But a couple other people want to shout out Dead Man, hashtag we are all toy mercs, the casual toy collector. Also, Sergeant Schultz is around. Philip Story, a couple other people. Kyle, I see Kyle Mudscuffer is into, but I have a lot of people that are joining in. It is Saturday morning. Remember Saturday morning, a magical time where you'd grab your action figures, your toys, and you would watch cartoons for hours on end. Shout out to Ash Bailey too, as well. But no. So the thing is, I don't know. I don't know. So listen. Okay. So real quick, I got to tell you guys exactly how this all works. So I have my producers that are over there on the other side of the glass. Right. Yeah, right over there. And they're talking to me the whole time in my ear. So I can hear it, but you can't. And what they're always saying is just, talking and blah, 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 blah. And of course, you don't want to hear them. You only want to hear me in this beautiful puppet voice. But they're talking to me and they're chatting the whole time and talking and say, hey, make sure you don't miss this, make sure you don't miss that. And well, could you imagine if they were sitting there on the microphone the whole time and giving directions and you guys could hear them? Oh my gosh, it would be a train wreck. Nothing is worse than a producer trying to get on the microphone and talk to the host and say, hey, well, I'm going to be a part of the show because I'm going to talk. No, nobody wants to hear your voice, producer. You don't want to hear my beautiful puppet voice. No, but that's the question. No, so the reason why I brought that up is because they keep saying, well, why is it called the bread car, the bread car, the bread truck, the bread van, whatever? And I said, well, I don't think it has anything to do with bread. Well, it might. Hey, all I'm telling you right now is that nothing would scream a better vehicle in the collection of Toy Town than a white rickety van. Yeah, a white rickety van that maybe in crayon along the side that says, hey, kid, come get some candy, right? I mean, that's really what it's all about. When you think about a white rickety van, and I'm not saying that the van's rickety when you get it. I'm going to probably have to send it off to somebody to make it all look rickety. Well, maybe I should just have a pristine white van. A pristine white van with fresh crayons that says, hey, kid, come get some candy. Well, because that's exactly what it's supposed to represent when it gets to Toy Town. Well, I know that they have a black one. They have a pimped out one. It's supposed to look like the A-Team and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's fine. But everybody knows that the white van really is the key. Well, yeah, because there's always that person that comes around your neighborhood and says, hey, kid, I got some candy. And why don't you hop in this van? Yeah, right. Well, no, that was what happened. Oh, and so God bless that I'm finally going to be able to have a van that represents, hey, kid, come get some candy. No, I'm just kidding. Golly. What are you guys saying? You guys said that's terrible. No, it's not terrible. No, but like I said, but they have a whole bunch of pimped out stuff too. I'm still not familiar with the whole bread thing. Bread car is the literal translation of van in Mandarin. That's what. So bread. So that's it. So thanks so much for Ace. Ace is enlightening us now. So when you see the bread car is the literal translation of van in Mandarin. Okay, so yeah. Well, listen, I learn something new all the time. Is that how you go about your day? You go about your day trying to learn something new all the time? Well, I want to learn something new all the time. So, but no, that is really great. So, let's see here. Oh yeah, that's right. Casual said the terrorist in Back to the Future had a white van. Well, so then eventually, I guess you'll have a bunch of toy photographers taking pictures of the white van, shooting Doc Brown, and then a DeLorean, everything. Listen, I'm just speaking out loud because what's going to happen is that there's going to be toy photography that does this, and far be it from me to sit there and say, hey, well, that's an original idea. No, of course, you always hear it on this show first. Splatter Day. Hashtag Splatter Day. It is Splatter Day because we are all toy mercs. Anthony just joined in the conversation as well. Now, this is an open forum. We have an open forum. I got a couple of more minutes here. I got a couple of songs I'm going to play. And then Deep Cut Dave is going to be back with us at about 10:35. And we're going to briefly, Dave, if you're listening, Professor, I'm sorry, I called you by your first name. Excuse me. Professor, if you're listening, we got to go over the songs. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 songs. But you got to go over them quick. Because what everybody really wants to talk about is Beetlejuice. Okay, that's 1. So we're going to talk about the review of Beetlejuice. That's 2. And how it was an incredible movie. It has been since 1988, since the original Beetlejuice. That's 3. Oh, no, wait. Okay. What? Well, listen, I said it 3 times just then. That was the 3rd time I said it. I don't have a bunch of stitches on my mouth. Well, you got to be careful about this stuff. The last thing I want to do is sit there and say the name 3 times fast. Well, I guess because there was a breakup in it. So because there was a breakup in it, then it didn't count? Okay, well. Ugh. Okay, so so me and Professor Deep Cut Dave will be giving the official Saturday morning radio review. It's together, me and Professor Deep Cut Dave, and that's a radio only segment. And when you say, oh, well, what do you mean by that, Sam? Well, you know, this show started at 9 o'clock. Well, it's not. It starts at 9:11. Well, the reason why is because it is an inside job. No, but we started 9:11. Well, we started 9 o'clock, but 9:11 is really what? What? Oh, yes, I know that 9/11. We're about to celebrate 9. Do we celebrate 9/11? Is that the best way to say? No, you don't celebrate 9/11. What the hell is wrong with you? No, you don't celebrate 9. No, we're coming up on an anniversary of 9/11, but far be it from me to not forget that day, which is why we try to start this show every Saturday morning at 9:11 because, well, it's an inside job. But listen, if you weren't listening from 9/11 until we fired up the Sam cams here at about 10:10, well, shame on you. You should download the Live 365 app. Download the Live 365 app and search WDCE, and you'll be able to listen to the show how it's supposed to be done. Now, this is a radio show first. I can't emphasize that enough. Radio show first. All right, can you say it with me? Radio show first. Radio is theater of the mind, and we're broadcasting here on WDCE 90.1 FM. Yes, a real radio microphone. That's what that is right there, a real radio microphone. Not a podcast, not that podcasting is bad. Not a YouTube mic, because not that YouTube is bad. But a broadcast microphone. A real radio microphone going out over the actual airwaves. Not only that, but because of WDCE.org and the Live 365 app, our signal is going out all around the world. And because of that, this Thursday, that's right, this Thursday, we will be at the Best of Richmond banquet. I'll be there. Now, I'm not going to live stream it. I can't say that there won't be a camera there. But I don't plan on live streaming anything like that. But you might get some video, going to take some pictures, hobnob with the doctors, lawyers, and Indian chiefs here around in Richmond, Virginia. And the reason why that is the case is because, well, we have made the top 3 for the best morning radio show in Richmond, Virginia, and in Virginia itself. This is brought on by our friends over at the Richmond Times-Dispatch. Do we have the newspaper over there? That's right, the actual newspaper. The newspaper. There it goes. The newspaper of record. That is the Richmond Times-Dispatch. Last year we got 3rd place. Now, I don't know exactly what it is that we got this year, but I was talking to the Richmond Times-Dispatch yesterday because there's been this fake news going around that somebody else and some other people are going to win and get in the top 3, and that's not the case. That's all fake news. And I want to make sure that there's no fake news around here, but yes, we did make the top 3. Don't know exactly where it is that we made the top 3, but we do know that the person who probably won, God love them. No, listen, the person who probably won had to spend $1,000 just to beat me. Now, can you imagine that if I ended up spending $1,000 on marketing and advertising just to win a competition? Now, I didn't do that. I didn't do that at all. Shout out to Cato. Shout out to Philip. A couple of people that are just joining in. Other people, Hubble Telescope, just joined in as well. I see all of you guys joining in. I just cannot read every single chat as it's coming in, but I hope you guys are having a wonderful conversation. Figure Fight Club. Oh my gosh. Are you familiar with the Figure Fight Club? Yeah, well, listen, I tell you what. The thing about the Figure Fight Club is very interesting. There is a podcast. Is it a YouTube podcast? Well, I know it's not a real radio broadcast. No, but it's a podcast. That's YouTube. Okay, so it's YouTube. It's a YouTube podcast. This is all confusing to me. Listen, I'm old school. Been doing this since Roswell. But what is it? The Toy Figure Alliance. I think I'm getting that right. Was it Figure Club? Go ahead and put it in the chat and let me know exactly if I'm saying it right. The Figure Alliance. It's a YouTube show, right? But I need to know what the name is. Because he come now. I have a lot of people that reach out to me all the time, and they say, "Hey, Lil Sam, can we do this? Do this?" The Action Figure Alliance. Yes, yeah. So yeah, action figure. Like when you hear that term, Action Figure Alliance, I mean, it just kind of rolls off the tongue. Well, the Action Figure Alliance YouTube show and podcast, I think, premieres at the end of this month, closer to the end of this month. Kato is saying that Figure Fight Club is awesome. So it's the Action Figure Alliance. We are all a part of the Action Figure Alliance. And the reason why is because we want to foster the community relationships between the toy community. There's so much toxicity. Toxicity, is that right? Toy toxicity. Toy toxicity? Hashtag toy toxicity. Can we get that trending? Toy toxicity? No. But 25th of September, if I'm not mistaken, is what Ace is saying. Listen, Ace is ahead. Well, of course, Ace is ahead of the curve. Well, I mean, who would? So, but I think that So the Action Figure Alliance, it's a YouTube show. It's going to start on the 25th of September. We're all a part of an Action Figure Alliance, I would say. What is that? This is Master of something cards 2019. Anyway, hello, Master. I see you in there. But no, so the Action Figure Alliance, we're all Action Figure Alliance. We're all a part of the Action Figure Alliance. Yes, it says that is correct, Ace. It is on September 25th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Look at that. Toy toxicity. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just trying to create some new words and all of that. But the fostering of toy communities is very important. Like I said, it's very, very important because we're all, listen, I say we, well, I live in Toy Town. It's unfortunate. I understand all of you humans, you guys can't actually talk to your toys. But, I understand the language of toys. Everybody was told to grow up. And so now you have a bunch of toy collectors that can't actually talk to their toys. But here I am. I can talk to toys and conversate with toys and all of that. And that is the key. But listen, I'm not saying the wrong thing. When toys talk to me, I'll make sure that I tell you. And I'll make sure that I tell you that a white van that is called the bread van is actually just translated bread van because that's what is translated in Mandarin. Right. I had a wide sage once tell me that. Yeah. All right. Right. Yeah. I'm telling you, it's really great. But yeah, Action Figure Alliance. A couple of other things we got. A Splatter Day. Yes. Hashtag We Are All Toy Mercs. Splatter Day. I love Splatter. They just did this close-ups thing. There's so many communities out there that you can connect with, and I tell you what, the ones that are that are genuine, well, they're welcoming to everyone. Because let's face it, we're just talking about action figures and toys and all of that. So, and not that that's bad, but it's really great. Okay, God bless America. I'm looking at the clock. It's 10:33. I'm late, and I have to get on here with Dave in just a few minutes. But I got to play a couple of songs first. And Dave's going to call in, and we're going to talk about Beetlejuice. Now, of course, we'll go over some of these cartoons. We got to go over them quick, Dave. I'm sorry. I know I'm going long, blah, blah, blah. Well, it's my show. I guess I can do whatever I want. Now, we're going to be back live here. You can see my beautiful puppet face. My beautiful puppet face. Back again at 11:11. I'm looking at the clock right now. So 11:11 is when we're going to come back here. on this. Now, make sure that you're going to WDCE.org. If anyone can put it down in the chats. Of course, I can't do that right now, but if you put it in the chat, WDCE.org, you'll be able to listen to the radio segment. Me and Deep Cut Dave, Professor Deep Cut Dave, are going to give you the official Saturday morning radio review of Beetlejuice. No spoilers. No spoilers, even though everyone died at the end. It's kind of like Rogue One. No. No, I'm kidding. I kid. No spoilers, but we'll give you a review. You're just on the other side of the break that is radio only. So make sure you are listening to us here on the on WDCE 90.1 FM, here on that real radio microphone right there, or that you're downloading the Live 365 app. Search WDCE, and you'll be able to listen to that segment of the show. Last thing, what? WDCE.org. Well, that's really easy. WDCE.org. At Sam Newsman, all over social media is where you're going to find me. Shout out to everybody who's been a part of this segment, both in the chat here on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and X. Setting the standard and raising the bar. The only way a real award-winning media puppet knows how to do. Broadcasting live from the beautiful sunny campus here at the University of Richmond, you're listening to 90.1 FM. From the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday Morning.